What is up, Baggies fans, football fans, and sports fans, to another video on the channel. And it is match week predictions, game week 2. I didn't do so well in the first game week. I don't think I got, bar the Albion winning, I don't think I got a single prediction right, which, you know, it's a good start for me. Again, as always, I want to know your predictions down in the comment section down below. We are so close to 500 subscribers now. I really would love you to smash that subscribe button, hit the bell notification to stay updated with everything I'm doing. Really hoping I can push this channel and make it for you and exactly what you're doing. Remember to smash that like button as well. Aiming for 40 likes on this video, so make sure you're smashing that like button. And let's get into my predictions for game week number 2 of the EFL Championship. Starting off first, we've got Derby County versus Coventry City. Derby in the first game week lost 3-1 to Stoke after an early goal. Well, I say early, after a goal from Carlton Morris in the 60th minute. It looked like it was plain sailing for Derby, and then the Potters come back with 3 late strikes to turn the tide. Obviously, Derby beat us in the cup midweek. Is that going to boost their morale? Are they going to be up for this game? Coventry City drew 0-0 with Hull on the opening day of the season after having 18 shots. Is he going to make any changes to the front line? Potentially, who knows? I do think Frank Lampard will possibly get the result here, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Coventry. I do think that they will be able to keep Derby out and also get the goals that they so thoroughly deserved after last week. So yeah, I'm going to go for 2-0 Coventry on that one. Next up, we've got Portsmouth versus Norwich City. Last week, Portsmouth won 1-0 at Oxford, and debutant Adrian Segic bagged the winner. However, while Norwich lost 2-1 at home to Millwall. Fratton Park will be absolutely bouncing. What a ground it is to go to. Those boys down there really know how to get behind their team, and I think the home advantage and the home crowd is going to play a massive part in this one. I do think that Portsmouth might be in and around the playoffs this year. I do think that they're going to push on and have a really good season. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 home win for Portsmouth. Norwich, I think under Liam Manning, once they get the understanding of how he plays and how he wants them to play, will come good. But for the time being, I think that they will be struggling to get the results and pick up those points. So I'm going to go for a Portsmouth 1-0 win at home. Wrexham versus West Brom, I'm not going to dive too much into this one because that'll be my Friday's video. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to give my predictions, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 away win for West Bromwich Albion. Got to predict us to win at this one at least. Wrexham obviously coming up, the Hollywood tale. Will it continue in the Championship? Who knows? But as I say, stay tuned tomorrow for my full deep dive into that one. Up next, Blackburn Rovers versus Birmingham City. Blackburn against us looked... I don't want to say they look poor, but they struggled to create chances. Now, whether there was something missing in midfield, I know reading online, a lot of Blackburn fans were saying that one of their creative midfielders was missing from the starting 11. Whether he was on a move somewhere or just resting for that game, who knows? They also got knocked out in the cup like us midweek to Bradford City. So they are going to be really wanting to get those points on the board and get up and running. And against a very tough team at Birmingham City, who obviously drew 1-1 in the opening Friday night game. Very harshly done by with a penalty. I also think Kyogo's goal in the first half should have stood. I don't think he fouled the defender at all. So it's a tough one for Blackburn, but I do think Birmingham are going to come out in this one. I just think they've got too strong a firepower up front, and I do think it's going to be possibly a cakewalk, and I'm going to go 4-1 to Birmingham City on this one. I feel for you, Blackburn, under Valérien Ismaël. You're going to try and play out from the back, and I just don't think it's going to work. So yeah, 4-1 to Birmingham City in that game. Up next, we've got Bristol City versus Charlton. Bristol City absolutely smashed Sheffield United 4-1. Who saw that coming? I didn't. I thought it'd be a nice close game between those two. But Sheffield United looked rocky at the back. I believe some of their main centre-backs were missing, which would explain it. But wow, Bristol City do look like they're going to be a very dangerous team. Scott Twine scoring some fantastic goals for them. Charlton Athletic, on the other hand, did nick a late winner against Watford at home. However, I do think today that Bristol City will be too tough for them on Saturday. So I'm going to go with a Bristol City 3-0 home win, and I think they're just going to absolutely smash it out the park. I do think Bristol City are going to be a team to watch this year. So let's keep an eye on it and see if we get any Nathan Jones celebrations down the touchline, or will it be Bristol City coming home with the points? Next up, we've got Millwall versus Middlesbrough. Millwall won 2-1 at Norwich, as we said. Alex Neil's Lions are absolutely up and running for this season. A lot of you Millwall fans when I said at the start of the season you'd be mid-table or on me and saying that, they're going to have a good season. Maybe I misread you. Maybe you are going to have a fantastic season. Who knows? Middlesbrough did start with a 1-0 win over Swansea as well, thanks to a Dale Fry header. However, they did get smashed 4-0, I believe it was, in the week in the Cup to Doncaster, and that is a tough one to take. I know they possibly changed this tide around, but it's a brutal one, and I think Millwall at home, Millwall will make their home so strong this year, and I do believe Millwall are going to come out 2-1 winners in this game. I do see Middlesbrough scoring because Millwall under Alex Neil will probably be pushing and trying to get the goals, and I think with the pace up front that Middlesbrough have got, they'll probably catch a goal. But I do think Millwall will overpower them and get the 3 points. Up next, you've got Preston North End versus Leicester City. Preston drew 1-1 at QPR, and Leicester came from behind to beat a 10-man Sheffield Wednesday late on. Now, I was really disappointed with Leicester's performance, to be fair. I know Sheffield Wednesday played really well, but something about the performance was just missing. Are they missing Jamie Vardy up front? Are they missing that goal poacher, the focal point? Have they been able to replace him? Only time will tell. Obviously, they've got a points deduction looming over him as well. Whenever that will come into play, I do not know. But I do think this one will be a very tight game. Again, I'm probably just going to go for a draw 1-1. Preston at home, they need to start picking up and making their home ground a real strong place to go. They do not want to be in the position last year where they're fighting for survival towards the end of the season. So I think it's going to be a 1-1 game. I just don't see Leicester having the firepower to really push on this season. I think they are lacking that vocal point up front. Next up, we've got Sheffield Wednesday versus Stoke. Obviously, as I mentioned, Stoke won 3-1 against Derby, where Sheffield Wednesday lost 2-1. However, Sheffield Wednesday did look very good for a team that hasn't had a very thorough pre-season, and obviously with all the financial issues going on around their club, not being able to sign players going out for free. I was very surprised with the performance they put in, and I expect another good performance from Sheffield Wednesday. Maybe we've all wrote them off. Maybe they will stay up this season. And I think, again, it's going to be a tough one for Mark Robbins and Stoke to break down. These guys are going to be hard to beat. They're going to play that sort of game where we break us down and we'll catch a goal. Obviously, the goal scorer for Sheffield Wednesday, Chabala, got injured, so they're down even lighter now. Barry Banham got a red card, so he'll be missing this game as well. So it's going to be a tough one. I expect Stoke to get the win, and I'm going to go 2-1. Just think that Stoke will get those goals. Mark Robbins looks like that he's finally getting the best out of Stoke now. And again, they look like they'll be a contender for a good team this year. Next up, Swansea City versus Sheffield United. Obviously, Swansea lost 1-0 to Borough, and Sheffield United, as we said, were battered 4-1 at Bristol City. Two sides here that really need to hit the reset button and go again. The Blades will need to tighten their defence, whereas Swansea need to start responding and getting points at home. For me, such a tough game to call. I'm going to go for 1-1 draw. I think after last weekend's performance, Sheffield United will probably be more focusing on trying to tighten up at the back rather than going out and trying to win the game. And I think that is where it'll just be a 1-1 game with a lot of played in midfield. It's going to be a tough game. Those are the sort of games where, it makes or breaks your season, I think. I know it's so early in the season to say that, but this is where if you want to be up there, you need to be grinding out results. And I just don't see Sheffield United doing it against Swansea. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with me 1-1 draw in that one. Next up, we got Watford versus QPR. Now, Watford got off to the worst possible start, losing 1-0 to Charlton, whereas QPR drew 1-1 with Preston. Watford are going to want to be bouncing back. Otherwise, they're going to be on the merry-go-round and sack another manager. QPR, on the other hand, do look quite a good team and have signed some very good players. And I do think they'll be pushing on, and I do fancy them to win this. Watford are starting off with back-to-back, London derbies, should we call them. And, I feel like they're going to struggle this year. Don't know why. I think that the manager merry-go-round will finally catch up to them and the players will start almost disappointing themselves for the club. So I'm going to go for QPR 1-0 win. Possibly a late winner again while Watford's concentration is lost. So, yeah, QPR to win that game for me. Next up, we've got Ipswich Southampton. Two of the relegated teams going head-to-head. Obviously, Ipswich drew 1-1, where Southampton, after two late goals, got over Wrexham. And I think this one's going to be another tight game. Two teams really pushing and playing the similar sort of style of football where it's going to be possession-based. And I think Ipswich are going to want to start winning games at home. They're going to want to kick off the season at home with a win. They've got a very good team. Amari Hutchinson, sorry. Is he going to still be around? Is he going to be moved on? 35 million is the talks from Brentford at the moment. Who knows? But I do think Ipswich will come out winners in this game, and I'm going to go for 3-1 to Ipswich. I do think that they'll just overpower Southampton in the end and get the goals and the results at home. Next up, and the final game of the weekend, is Hull City versus Oxford City. Possibly a relegation battle, 6 point in a relegation battle early on in the season. Who's going to pick up the points? Who's going to, you know, claw their way towards safety and get that special mark? As in the Premier League, it used to be like 40 points to stay up, and again in the Championship, I think this season it's going to be a very, very tight league, and I think over 35, maybe 40 points will keep everybody safe. So who knows? But for me, I'm going to go with Hull City to win 1-0. They lost midweek to Wrexham in the Carabao Cup, but I do think they'll kick on and get the 3 points against the Oxford City team, who are going to be wondering where they're going to be picking up points. So that's my predictions for this weekend. Let me know in the comment section down below who you've got to win, who you're looking forward to most seeing with this game weekend. And obviously stay tuned for Friday for my deep analysis of Wrexham versus West Bromwich Albion. And I'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye-bye, guys.